Here at WagerTalk, we would never say it was silly to buy a single play $25 package or buy a single play $35 package, but we are darn close to saying just that. Until Sunday at midnight Eastern, we have discounted every handicapper's 3-day all sports, all access packages to just $49. So why buy one play for $25 when you can get 3 days of all access pass for only $24 more? With the 5% that regularly costs $35, you can get 3 full days for only $14 more. No coupon needed. Just head over to WagerTalk and go to your favorite handicapper's homepage and lock in your 3-day all access pass for only $49.
Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. Teddy covers with me like always. I'm Lawrence Presman. It's January 14th, Friday, and Super Wildcard Week is right in front of us. Also, quick reminder, this is my last show for 10 days. Teddy, we got Tony M joining us right off the top. He's going to look at the Eagles-Bucks game. I have an opinion on that. I have an opinion on every game, obviously. I'm an opinionated man. He's going to then look at the Cavs and Spurs, Adam Trigger, Bills and Pats, and a college basketball game, and Andy Lang with a bunch of prop bets in the NFL. What's up, dude?
I'm just looking forward to you going on vacation for 10 days so I can do some shows with Merrill. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to me going on vacation for 10 days too, so that I can do no shows and not even think about you. What did we learn last night?
Dude, I'm so pissed off today. I really am. My NBA's been running good the last couple of weeks. I've been seeing things clearer. I've been doing a good job with the plays, and I haven't been winning as many close games as I would like. That's the only reason I'm at, 62% since Christmas or since before Christmas. It should be even higher than that. So I've been seeing things clearly, and yesterday I had a bunch of leans in the NBA. And I kept on going, I'm not going to play this one. Oh, I talked myself out of everything. I should have had the Bucks over the Warriors. All right, on the short list was a wire-to-wire blowout. Should have the Pelicans over the Clippers. Again, on the short list, a wire-to-wire blowout. Should have had OKC, the most obvious play in the history of the NBA. Should have had the over in that game, too. I should have had Denver over Portland. I got scared off. Ooh, the line's up to 10.5. It's up to 11. They won by 30-something. And I should have had the Grizz in every game that they play, even against a team I want to be betting on right now like Minnesota. I should have gone 6-0 in the NBA last night and said I went 0-0 in the NBA last night. And that's freaking pissing me off today. And then I played one college hoops, and literally there was a whistle on every possession the entire game. The opponent shot 45 free throw attempts, dude. Crazy game, and ended up losing that. So very frustrating night for me, Prez. I'm in a pissed off mood on a Friday morning, and I want to start releasing the games instead of thinking about them and talking myself out of them. Really frustrating, man. How about you? What did you learn last
Teddy, I literally go through that every single night. I mean, I released one NHL play last night for my clients my all access clients. It won, but I mean, I loved the Islanders. I loved Winnipeg. Let me tell you something that Ralph Michaels constantly tells me, and I'm thankful for it. And that is, it's better to miss a winner than give out a loser.
Yes, sure. It's 11-10. I understand that. That being said, I had 6 games. I had 6 possibilities yesterday in the NBA. I didn't play any of them. They went 6-0, and I'm sitting here on an 0-1 night.
Oh, dude,
4-0 on Wednesday. It's frustrating, dude. It really is.
Teddy, I got to ask you, because, I mean, obviously we do the same thing for a living. That is the thing that probably bothers me the most. Like, if I put out a 5% play and it loses, I'm really mad. But if I leave 6 winners on the table, I am in full rage mode.
Well, welcome to my morning, my friend. You should have seen me last night. You should have seen me at halftime when every game that I leaned where it was like, this is going to be right. This is going to be right. That's going to be right. It's the nature of what we do, Prez. Sometimes it's really frustrating. But last night was one of those nights where when you're seeing things clearly, I say this 100 times, you play more when you're seeing things clearly. You play your leans when you're seeing things clearly. I'm seeing things pretty clearly in the NBA last night or right now, and I didn't play any of the leans. And that Ended up being a frustrating result. So be it.
Guys, just real quick, as I've mentioned, there is no longer an NFL presidential address until next season. I will not be doing an NFL presidential address during the playoffs, but I will do a mini version in the daily presidential address at the end of the show. Teddy, speaking about leaving plays out, you know who never leaves a play out?
Our first guest today.
A man who releases 300 plays in a day. Tony Mejia. Tony, how are you, my friend? Thank you for joining us on Friday morning.
What's up, fellas? This is not true. Categorically denied. I do exercise some judgment, including that Thunder Brooklyn game, because I said, James Harden, he's got some bets around him. The kids are in town. But yeah, Oklahoma City should win that game, and then they obviously destroyed them. So I feel your pain, Teddy. Should have done better yesterday than I did as well, and I went 4-1 in the NBA. It was just one of those nights where everything fell into place for people that follow the league. But you know, when you have nights like that, the next night's always a debacle. So we shall see how tonight unfolds.
Exactly. You can't be like, all right, I saw everything great last night, therefore I see everything great tonight. You still have to do your due diligence the following.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that, Tony, and I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, that Murphy's Law concept where, you know, you want to release 6 plays, you go 6-0, you release none of them. The next night, you're like, I'm not making the same mistake as the night before, and then you lose them all. There's another one that I find happens to me a lot. You release, let's just pick Eagles Bucks. Let's say the Philadelphia Eagles. You release the under in the Philadelphia Eagles game. It goes over. You love the over next week. What do?
What's your scenario here?
It's like once you lose that first one, it always feels like you're off balance. Like you're like, oh, you know, I love the Islanders last night against New Jersey. I didn't release them. They win. Tomorrow I release them. They lose.
Sure. That's, you know, what sometimes I'll go back and I'll see there's a team I look to bet against, right? And they're 2-8 against the spread their last 10 games. And I'm like, which 2 did I bet against them? The 2, you know, where they covered. Those are frustrating. It happens, though. It does.
Yeah. Tony, let's get into it. Talking about the Eagles, you've got a total on this game you want to talk about. Eagles Bucks Sunday, line around 46. Where should we go?
Yeah, this won't be a 5% play. I will have a 5% NFL playoff play, and like you, I've got a lot of opinions, so there will be a lot of plays. This will be a client play. It's very sunny in Central Florida right now. I'm in Orlando. Tampa is about an hour south. But on Sunday, right around kickoff, it's expected to be really rainy. Wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour down there at Raymond James. We'll see if the rain lets up in time for kickoff, but it's Florida, so it could rain with 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter and rain all the way till halftime and be sunny for the halftime break and rain out of into the second half. It's just how it is down here. So Tom Brady's going to have to deal with the elements in addition to all the receiver issues that they have against a really talented defense whose strength is the front four. So I think they're going to try to keep his pocket clean. We'll get a lot of rushing from Tampa Bay. Hopefully they have, for their sake, playoff Leonard Fournette in tow. And as far as Philadelphia is concerned, you know, we know the struggles that Jalen Hurts deals with in terms of accuracy. He threw for only 115 yards when these teams met earlier this season. So to me, I think that this is a game that is hangs in the balance in the fourth quarter and is much lower scoring than that total, which is an innocuous 46, would suggest. I think this is a race to 24.
Yeah, and we've seen nothing but under money in this ballgame, I think in large part due to that weather forecast, Tony. Now, I'm seeing very different wind conditions, and you were talking about 40 miles an hour wind, and the forecast I'm looking at 10 to 15 mile an hour, a couple of gusts, but nothing as significant as 40 mile an hour winds. Is this play predicated on the wind factor, or is this matchups and rain is going to be enough?
I mean, the wind factor is definitely an issue that I was looking at, and I use AccuWeather, and obviously, look, these forecasts change from hour to hour. I even saw that earlier in the week they said, oh, it's definitely going to rain through the game. Now they have it potentially stopping at just before kickoff. So, the best thing to do is try to get a better picture of it the morning of. But I mean, if you're looking to beat the number because of where it's headed, I think that there is some solace to be had in the fact that, playoff Tom Brady, the key to a long run is to keep him upright. This Philadelphia pass rush with Fletcher Cox in the middle and guys like Sweat on the outside that have really all season terrorized quarterbacks is going to be the chief concern for Bruce Arians and that Bucs offense. I think that potentially a Rob Gronkowski receptions prop is in play here because Philadelphia struggles against tight ends. But for the most part, you're going to have Brady dissecting the defense and trying to keep them in the safest play possible to keep this in within striking distance in the first half. And that sounds strange to say considering Tampa Bay is the favorite, but the matchup, the fact that they're facing a rushing quarterback, a team that could potentially control possession in Philadelphia, it's a tough matchup for the Bucs, given all the concerns that they've been dealing with over the last month and a half of the season with the receivers, with their secondary, and with that offensive line, guys like Ali Marpet being in and out of the lineup.
Tony, I got to follow up on that as well. And I mean, listening to you talk, why aren't we looking at Philadelphia in this game? Rainy, shitty weather. This is a running team. I understand that it is almost impossible to run against Tampa Bay, but I don't think Philly's going to give up trying. It could be a ball control game. I really do agree with you on the under. And guys in here, Rara writes team total Tampa Bay over 27.5. I would be concerned. If Philly can find a way to break that run D in Tampa Bay, I think this could be a super close game. Do you like Philly at all here?
I absolutely do. I do. I'll see where we're at on Sunday morning, but for the question that you're asking me, I would absolutely lean Philly over laying points with Tampa Bay. There were 3 touchdowns scored back to back in this first meeting, and then things settled down. I think you need to potentially look at a play-in spot in game, just to taking a look at how comfortable Jalen Hurts looks, because his accuracy changes from quarter to quarter, much less game to game. But if he feels like he's settling in, and you mentioned it, it's very difficult to run on Tampa Bay. Teams often just give up and go short passing game just because it's so hard. Guys like Vita Vea and other bigs that they have up front. If Philadelphia can establish the run, they're going to be in this game for 4 quarters and could potentially steal it. Tampa Bay, I think, will struggle in that first half to get going, especially given the weather not allowing them to get comfortable.
And frankly, given the chart that Ralph showed us yesterday, where in the wild card games for the last 11 years, 15 overs, 31 unders, I'm not playing overs, all right? If I see an over that I lean, it's going to stay in the lean category. The long-term angles really show this wild card round is an under machine and has been for the last decade plus. So there's not a whole lot of overs I'm looking to play on this week's cards, Prez. What about you?
Yeah, and Teddy, Dan, our producer, slacked me an interesting thing as well, and I did not know this. The Bucs defense ranks 29th in the league in rushing yards allowed to the outside. That's interesting because Philadelphia is going to play that option style run attack. I think this is going to be a fun game. Tony M, 19-4 run. 19-4 run, dude. That, I'm on a 14-4 NHL run, which I consider to be awesome. I got to win another 5 in a row to get to 19-4. My 14-4 feels so lame right now. Way to go. That's incredible stuff. What else? 11-2, your last 14. That's in 5% plays, right?
5% plays, yeah. Despite what happened in that Las Vegas Chargers game. So I'm coming in off a 5% loss. So we'll look to get back on track this week. And that was one of the more frustrating games ever on Sunday night. I took years off my life.
Okay, well, we don't want that. Guys, Tony M has a 5% play up in the NFL playoffs for this weekend. Remember, there's probably nobody hotter. 11-2 run in his 5% plays and on a 19-4 all sports run. Let's talk Cavaliers at Spurs, -3.5 for Cleveland. There's clearly money coming in on the Cavs. Total all over the place, 22.5, 220.5, 221. Where are you going, my friend? How do we bet this game?
Yeah, we're going to ride the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are currently 3-1 on their road trip. They opened by beating Portland, and everybody's beating Portland these days because they're so depleted. But the last two games, squeaking past the Sacramento Kings in a game that they actually had covered, but nearly blew late, and then blowing out the Utah Jazz by 20 in Salt Lake City, which is very difficult to do. They've just got things going on at both ends. Evan Mobley's your favorite for Rookie of the Year. Jared Allen is controlling the paint. Darius Garland, it became an addition by subtraction situation with Colin Sexton gone, and Garland being given the reins to that offense. He's a traditional point guard and really does well with that offense. Rajon Rondo's on the team now, and I think his influence will be a key factor in the Cavs making the playoffs. As far as San Antonio is concerned, they've had players in and out of protocol for the last few weeks. Really tough to gain traction there. They've lost 8 of 9 outright. Did get guys like Keldon Johnson and back last game. Derek White will be back tonight, but too many moving parts at home. This isn't 2010 where the AT&T Center is a place you can't get a win in. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers come in and handle business.
I'm certainly not going to talk you out of play on the Cavs tonight, but I do want to ask, because in my mind, the Spurs are something of an undervalued commodity right now. This is a team that they had a slow start. They've had a ton of moving pieces. Then they had a COVID outbreak. But San Antonio's A game is pretty good. It's decent. It's not a team that mirrors their record when it comes to their A game. And it feels like tonight should be that spot for the Spurs. Does that concern you at all? Or is this just ride Cleveland, ride Memphis until they die? And so far, neither team has shown any signs of dying.
Yeah, I mean, Teddy, look, I think you're right on the Spurs in terms of when they get DeJounte Murray going. He's been great for them, and they're running in transition and they're making some 3-pointers. They can be dangerous, but they failed to cover in 6 of 8, and I think it's mostly the COVID, the fact that they've gone with 2 different lineups essentially over the last few weeks, and they were on the road for 7 straight games, and you knew that 7th game at New York after giving Brooklyn a really tight game the night before was going to be a disaster. It was. They lost 111-96. And then they come home and face the Houston Rockets, who everybody should beat, and they lose 128-124. So they're really not getting it done on the defensive end, and Cleveland can take advantage because of their size. They're getting it done at both ends. Props to young Bickerstaff for the job he's done with that young team.
What a great segment, Tony. Thanks for coming on. Awesome stuff. Guys, we have just begun. Remember, Tony's got a 5% play in the NFL. That was pretty good gibberish, though, Teddy. Come on.
That went longer than I thought it was going to, yeah.
Yeah. Tony's got a 5% play in the NFL up for this weekend. 11-2 run in his 5%, 19-4 all sport run. Tony, get the hell out of here, bro. Guys, we're
enjoy
gonna
the vacation.
I will. We're going to take a quick break. Adam Trigger coming up. Andy Lane coming up. Teddy's Big Game Breakdown coming up. And, of course, the greatest segment in history of the world, the Daily Presidential Address. Stay with us.
Why pay the regular price when you can save money on every purchase with WagerBucks at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo? WagerBucks are now eligible for use on not just daily, 3-day, and 7-day passes, but all long-term and seasonal packages up to 1 full year. There are tons of options available for every budget and size of bettor. From low as $100 gets $110, all the way up to $2,500 gets you $3,000. Save every day on every pick you buy with WagerBucks.
for today's big game breakdown. And let's talk the showdown in the association for this evening, the Bulls and the Warriors, ESPN on Friday night. Right now, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, we've seen money for Golden State. The fours are all gone right now. They're 3.5s for Chicago, even some threes on the board. And we're seeing this total get bet up. 223 earlier this morning. Now I'm seeing 223.5s and 224s on the board. So right now, the money coming for Golden State and the money coming for the over. I'm going to disagree with the money coming for Golden State. All right. This is a Bulls team, and both of these teams are coming off bad blowout losses. But their approach to the losses, very, very different. The mentality following the blowout losses, very, very different. Look, all right, Bulls embarrassed by the Nets on Wednesday. Start to finish. DeMar DeRozan, the team leader. It's how we bounce back from it. Let it sink in, let it suck, let it hurt. It seemed like everything went wrong. Obviously, it had to with the run they went on. Everything was on us. We're going to get every team's best shot. But the key to there from DeRozan, talking about how they're going to bounce back. Zach LaVine, quote, something to get you a little more hungry is what he called the loss. Billy Donovan, I don't think you throw it out. I think you own it. I think our guys have worked really hard up to this point to be where we are in the standings. And I think with that, there's an even greater responsibility. Chicago's coming to play tonight. All right. From all indications, Chicago is coming to play this evening. Golden State's on the second of back-to-backs. They've lost 4 of their last 5. In my mind, Steph Curry is without a shadow of a doubt the MVP in the NBA this year, and yet the guy I don't want to play Golden State without is Draymond Green. The intensity isn't there when Green's not on the floor. We've seen it over the course of the last week. We've seen it during this current skid from Golden State, and Green's not playing again tonight. They were down 77-38 at halftime against Milwaukee last night, okay? Steve Kerr, are these the crazy hungry quotes like we're seeing out of Chicago? Kerr, quote, I know we just got our butts kicked, but we're just in a rough patch in our season. It happens to every team every year, pretty much with a very few exceptions. We're in a little bit of a rut. We're playing a team that was ready and played a great, great first half. We're a little out of sorts. We just got to get back on track, and we will. Not tonight. No Draymond Green again tonight. No Klay Thompson tonight. No Gary Payton II tonight. I think Chicago takes care of business. I would be surprised if they smack them around a little bit. Give me the Bulls minus the 3.5. And there's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy, love it. Awesome work. I was on Golden State last night. Yes, that went well for about 12 seconds.
It wasn't even that long. The game was over at the opening tip.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was a mess. But I went 1-2 last night for my clients, so I'm now 4-2 since I haven't been allowed to sell daily plays. Self-imposed exile. We've spoken about it. Adam Trigger joining us. Man, we always put you on our Friday show. This is our biggest viewing show because it sits all weekend. So
most viewed.
That's a compliment to you.
Is that the word?
Most
you're
viewed
for?
show. Oh, shut up, Teddy. I don't need your help. And I didn't say I spoke English. I didn't say I spoke English. I just speak language. Ad, what's going on? How you been? How's the last week been for you?
Well, Prez, I appreciate you having me on Friday. I went 2-0 last Friday. I think I'm on a pretty good run on the show. So hopefully we can do that again. The week started off as good as it possibly could have, with Georgia winning the national championship, which was one of the games I gave out on the show last week. I had them at 8-1. A lot of my clients had them at 8-1. So the week started off as good as it could start.
Nice.
And it's been as bad as you could possibly imagine since. It's like I had an awesome college football season, ended, I think, 57.3%, 27% bankroll gain. I'm right around the same in NFL, but we got some work to do in college basketball. It's mid-January. There's still a lot of season left, and I expect to turn that around starting tonight, and I'm going to give out my best college basketball bet on the show. So we're going to get it turned around, and I hope we go 2-0 again for the Friday viewers on WagerTalk Today.
Okay, well, before we do that, let's talk some NFL. You want to talk New England Buffalo? Third time they're playing this year, and third time in about 5 or 6 weeks. -4. However, we are seeing 4.5s pop up everywhere now. We even have a 5 on the board, a total of 44. What do we do here?
So I'm gonna wait on this because I actually think it's gonna go to 5. I think you'll easily be able to get 5 everywhere. And I have not been a Patriots backer much at all this year. I've actually probably gone against them far more than I've played them. But I think this is too many here. I like the Patriots in this spot for a couple of reasons. First, Bill Belichick's as good as anyone at making adjustments. Of course, the sort of what's ingrained in people's minds right now is the Bills going to New England a few weeks ago, blowing them out. One of the worst games the Pats played all year. Specifically, Mac Jones had a horrendous outing in that game. But what I've noticed from the 2 games the Bills and the Patriots have played this year, the Bills are not going to be able to stop New England from running. They made an adjustment late in the game, in the first game in Buffalo, the game that New England won 14-10, when the Bills essentially knew they were going to run it and couldn't stop it. And the Patriots, even in the loss, still ran the ball considerably well against the Bills last time out. So I don't know what the Bills are going to do to stop Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson from running it again here. Mac Jones, he is the rookie quarterback, right? And that's an angle everyone loves to play. Fade the rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs, but he doesn't need to win this game to get us the money. And I can't see him playing worse than he did against the Bills a few weeks back. Finally, it's a rare sort of nothing to lose spot for the Patriots. This feels like all the pressure's on the Bills here. The Bills are the team that's expected to win, not New England. And, I read something earlier that was surprising to me. The Bills, from many statistical metrics, have actually played the easiest schedule in the NFL this year. And if you look at their last 6 weeks, lost to the Patriots, lost to the Bucks, those last 4 wins, the only real impressive result to me is the win at New England, which was a good spot, a revenge spot for them. Last 2 weeks against the Falcons and the Jets, not at all impressive. I think this is too many points. I think you can wait and get 5. New England's coming to play, and I think they're going to hang around. It'll be a competitive game, and they cover the number.
So, Adam, I'm the guy that likes to ask the follows, but Prez specifically requested that he gets the follow for this game. So, Lawrence, go to town, my friend.
Well, I mean, it's a game that fascinates me, and a game that comes with this very interesting narrative that Buffalo can't stop New England's running game. Weather is somewhat irrelevant to running games. So, Adam, 2 nights ago, the Toronto Maple Leafs played the Arizona Coyotes. Toronto shot, I think they had 45 shots on goal versus Arizona 18 shots on goal. 45 shots on goal is a ton of shots. They only got 1 goal, and they lost 2-1. Would you say that Arizona was able to shut down the Toronto Maple Leaf offense? I would say yes, because they only had 1 goal. Explain to me how New England ran all over Buffalo when they ultimately only scored 1 touchdown.
Well, Prez, I think we're naive to think that Bill Belichick, the mastermind of all masterminds, right, is just going to come in here with a vanilla offense and just run the ball. So I fully expect the Patriots to have far more up their sleeve than just coming in, running it. I think it's a lot of this is going to be on Mac Jones. And, if the Bills come out and blow the Patriots out, I think it's going to be because Jones played poorly again. And then, I'll be kicking myself, probably saying, okay, can't believe I backed a rookie quarterback, so on and so forth. But, for as far as rookie quarterbacks go, I would say Mac Jones has been one of the better ones in the past few years. I think Bill Belichick is going to have a game plan that puts him in position to succeed. But with that, I still think the Patriots can grind out some first downs by running the ball. And their defense is capable enough to keep them in this game. Again, we don't need to win it, right? We're getting 5. What that essentially means is we need to be in the game at the end in a one-score game to have a really good chance to cover. Ultimately, I just have this number too high. I think you wait. I think you make sure you get that 5, and you're getting some nice value on the Pats plus 5 in a game that should be pretty competitive.
No, I'm with you, brother. And I think it's going to be a close game, too. I just don't understand this narrative of Buffalo couldn't stop New England in Buffalo when New England put up nothing, like 1 touchdown. I'm like, they stopped them perfectly. All because a team can run back and forth inside of the 20s means shit all. Same damn thing as getting shots on goal. You score or you don't. Add Sienna Marist. How do we bet this game?
Yeah, I wanted to come on and talk about this game because I did release it. This is my only best bet for Friday. I'm giving it out for free here. I'm on Sienna plus the points. I gave it out to my clients at plus 5.5. I think you can get it at plus 5 now. I actually expect them to win the game. For most of you probably know this at this point, but if you don't, I went to Sienna. I attend most of their home games. I went over to the game on Sunday. It was their first game in 27 days. They were on quite a long shutdown, and they came out as an underdog and beat Fairfield, which is a nice win. Fairfield's had a pretty good season to date. They also won that game without Colby Rogers and Javion McCollum. So that's really even more impressive that they were able to do what they did without those two. Both of them should be back tonight. And my takeaway from this long stretch off, which wasn't entirely their fault, they had a lot of time to practice, which is key. This team has a ton of transfers, so early in the season when they're out there playing the Georgetown, St. Bonaventures, they played some quality teams. I just think that they were really not ready to play yet. They've won 5 of 7 now, and this little shutdown, I think, has given them some time to practice, to gel as a team a little bit. Marist has been playing through some COVID issues of their own. They've essentially been playing shorthanded. I think they had 7 scholarship players for their last game. They're going to get a guy back tonight, but I don't think that matters as much as Sienna essentially going in full strength, because before Coach Carr Massarello tightened up his rotation, he was regularly playing 10 guys a game. And I think that sort of battle tested them against better teams to come into the MAC and have success against teams like Fairfield, Marist, who are a little bit of a step down from what they were playing in the non-conference. Loudonville and Poughkeepsie are only 90 minutes away. A lot of Sienna people that go to Sienna are from the Westchester area. So Sienna tends to get a good showing on the road. There'll probably be a lot of Sienna fans at this game. It's a Friday. They'll probably bust some kids down. And it tends to be a very competitive game. Year in and year out, for whatever reason, this Sienna-Marist game at Marist seems to come down to the final possession. I would not be surprised if that's what happens tonight. Marist is a team that's not really built to blow teams out. You're getting 5.5. I think Sienna wins, but either way, probably got a 1-possession game that stays within the number.
So you talked about the guy that Marist is getting back tonight, though. You mentioned him, Jao Atuka, who's been their leading scorer in like half their games this year. This guy can shoot. Is he an impact player for you in his return to the floor?
Yeah, no, I mean he is one of their better scorers. I just wanted to reference a couple of numbers quick. I don't know if I can get them up in time, but basically, John Dunn, Marist coach, he's been in the MAC for probably like 15 years now. He had a long stint at St. Peter's, and they hired him, and they essentially hired him away from St. Peter's. Marist did a couple of years back. He's just a grinded out. He's probably done more with less on a lot of these teams the last few years. Then that's probably why Marist wanted him so bad. He seems to get max effort out of not great talent, and it's hard to draw talent to a place like St. Peter's or a place like Marist. They're not a great offensive team, even with Atuka back. Still they're outside the top 2. You're right around the top 200 in a lot of the offensive metrics. They don't move the ball particularly well. So I think Sienna what I saw on Sunday, their ability to defend Fairfield, Marist gets into a lot of this like one-on-one, or I guess like 1-on-5 type, where it's really there's two guys that can kind of create on their own on this Marist team. I've liked what I've seen defensively out of Siena enough where I don't think they're going to be able to do that and pull away in this game. So again, it comes down to the number being too big. I'll call this a game that comes down to the final possession, because that's kind of what this series has done. So give me Siena plus the point. Sorry for going long.
No worries. Listen, guys, Adam was going to come on and talk 49ers, and then he made a quick change to Siena. So, Adam, in one word, who do you like in the 49er game?
I like the 49ers. I'm doing a video on it with Kelly, Stewart, and Dave Koken. So just look for that on the WagerTalk YouTube page.
Perfect.
You'll find it. It'll probably be up later today.
Perfect. Okay, brother, we got to let you go. Wonderful job. Outstanding having you. We got to give Andy a little bit more time than 34 seconds that he gets every week. Thanks, Adam Trigger. Guys, 90 likes. Please hit that thumbs up. We need to get over 100 likes for the mini NFL presidential address that is coming up at the end of the show. And I got some great NFL bets for you guys. Man, Andy Lang. I like you in black, dude. Looking good. What's up, my brother?
I've officially entered health and safety protocols, so it's not a real fun time at my house. But the good news about producer Dan has called this the Michael Jordan flu day for me. I'm sick, and we're just giving out plays. We got a 5% NBA play. But the nice thing about quarantining in your office is you have nothing to do except research plays. So I can say without a shadow of a doubt.
Say research porn? Like did research porn almost come out of your mouth?
I don't need to
because there was
research.
A stumble off the P. There was technically a stumble off the P.
Don't need to research it. Already an expert. No, but all these plays I'm releasing today have been exhaustively researched. I have gone over them left and right. So feeling pretty good about the plays today.
Well, the mic's all yours, my brother. We won't interrupt, and then Teddy will speak after.
All right, we're going to go with 3 touchdown props for playoff weekend, and I'll start with James Conner. We're getting an amazing price at plus 130 to score a touchdown. He did not play much the first 2 weeks of the season, but since then, he's played 13 games, and he has 18 touchdowns. He's played the Rams twice and scored 2 touchdowns in each of those games, so 4 rushing touchdowns against the Rams. He's just got a nose for the end zone, and at plus 130, it's a great price. Worth the play. He is their unquestioned goal line back. So I love getting plus 130 on James Conner. Next, we're going to go with Damian Harris. I think he's going to score a touchdown. And again, we're getting an amazing price, plus 120. Damian is a touchdown machine. He scored a touchdown in 9 out of his last 10 games, had a touchdown in the wind game against Buffalo before he pulled his hamstring. And in the second game against Buffalo, he scored 3 rushing touchdowns. Buffalo's given up 14 rushing touchdowns total this year. It just feels like New England has success around the goal line against Buffalo with these running backs. So I love this plus money. And then we'll end with Rob Gronkowski. He is even money or minus 105, depending on your book, to score a touchdown. Brady has thrown 90 touchdowns to Gronk since they entered the league. 14 have been in the postseason, and that is an NFL record for touchdown catches by a tight end. Eagles, dead last in defending touchdown receptions against tight ends. They've given up 14 TDs to tight ends this year. No Antonio Brown, no Godwin. Brady has thrown 12 touchdowns to tight ends this season, and it's playoff time. Brady is going to go to the guys that he trusts, and Gronk is one of the big names that he trusts. So I would expect him to get into the end zone. And then as a little bonus here, I'm going to go over an NBA player prop. We've been crushing this prop. We love Christian Wood over 18.5 points. You can find 17.5 or 18.5. I'd play it either. He's just been a really popular play, taking over his points. He's gone over short term in 4 out of 5 games. The game he went under, he was matched up against Joel Embiid, so he laid off of it. Next game, he played the Spurs, cashed his over points there, and he gets a dream matchup against the Kings, who have been awful against centers. Rashawn Holmes is a game time decision, but if he's out, we just lay the wood with Christian Wood. So, and that play is part of the NBA pack that we have up now, 5% play, along with all of the NFL playoff props that we have released. Those are up now on wagertalk.com.
Andy, I personally prefer Jewish wood. So does my woman. Teddy, you got a follow-up question?
Of course I got a follow-up question. So we had Ralph Michaels on the show yesterday making a strong case towards nothing but unders. And we look at the last 11 years, and we have, 31 and 15 to the under in the wild card round. It's been pretty exceptional in that regard. And yet you're giving me underdogs, teams that are underdogs with Connor and Harris, and will score a touchdown in a game on a weekend where we're thinking fewer touchdowns, fewer scores, underdogs scoring less, et cetera, et cetera. Do you worry at all about stepping in front of the long-term under trends with Connor, with Harris, both of whom, again, are underdogs against good defenses, with those plus price props? And that's, I'm sure, why they're priced as plus price props, Harris and Connor, given the nuance of these wild card meetings.
Yeah, there's a multitude of angles to look at it in the prop market. I just follow what the numbers have shown me. And for the James Conner one, it's shown that he has success against the Rams. I don't know why a wild card weekend would be any different than some of the games that he's played this season. Damian Harris, 9 out of 10 games with a touchdown. I'm going to follow that trend, even though it is the playoffs. And then Gronkowski, he's just shown his success in the playoffs. So, there's you can always find an angle to say, well, maybe lay off that play a little bit. But when I have so many numbers that point me in direction, and I'm getting these guys at plus 130, it's not like Arizona's not going to score a touchdown. Most likely they're gonna score 1 or 2 touchdowns, and Connor has been their guy. New England have shown success running, so I'll keep playing it. These games can still go under along with these props hitting. So I just really like these. I think they're all going to hit. And even if we get 2 and we go 2-1, we're getting really, really nice payouts on these plus monies.
Andy, I know you didn't prepare kicker props, but man, we spoke about it last week. Matt Joseph came on yesterday. I took a bet last week in the later group of games. I can't remember how many games there were in the 4 o'clock. I think it was either 6 or 8.
5.
5. So there were 5 games in the 4 o'clock spot, and my book offered me a successful field goal in every game plus 800. I cashed that baby. Do you like those type of bets? Over 13 touchdown combined plus 450. Do you make those type of bets?
Have not dabbled in that, especially when you've got games where weather is going to be an issue. The one down in Florida, Tony Mejia did a great job going over that. It's Florida. Like, weather can change an hour or two before the game. So
yeah.
And then we know it's going to be super cold. So we don't know how the wind is going to be in New England, Buffalo. But when you're playing kicker props, I can't play those like way ahead of time. You have to wait and see what the wind is going to be like and what the weather conditions are going to be. So if you're going to dabble with those kind of props, I'm not sure when the best time would be getting in, because you have to play that on Saturday, and you can't wait till Sunday to see what the weather is going to be like down in Florida. So my best advice would be to lay off those with the uncertainty of the weather.
Andy Lang, everyone. Andy, what do you got to promote?
5% NBA play that is up. We are 16-5 in 4% and 5% plays in the NBA. Just doing really well. We're up 67 units since mid-November. Seeing the court really well. We cashed 5% play on $9 Monday, looking to do that again. And we got some player props up for the NFL weekend. And if you get the NFL pack, that is good all the way through Monday Night Football. So the more and more props that get released throughout the weekend, those will all be included up until the Monday night game. So that's what we got going on.
Awesome, outstanding stuff, man. Great segment. Andy Lang, such a pro, Teddy. Okay, guys, let's go. All right. Okay, guys, daily presidential address. We're going to do an NFL edition. I will actually have one hockey play for you at the end of the segment, but because there's no presidential NFL presidential address, I'm going to be giving you NFL bets that I am making in this segment. I just want to let everybody know, if you want to play my NFL. If you don't want to play my NFL this weekend, you're insane. I am on a crazy run, guys. I've won 10 of my last 14 NFL cards. I'm on a 17-8 all sports run. My totals are 22-7 run. I am up 30% ROI on the season, over 57% on the year. I have 3 NFL plays up for Super Wildcard Weekend. You can get them, but you have to buy my all access pass. There's simply no other way. We have a promo up where you can get 3 days for only $49. You can find that on my page at WagerTalk.com. Okay, so what am I betting in the NFL outside of the 3 plays I'm releasing? Okay, here we go. I am betting Joe Burrows over the total of 259.5 yards. Joe's going to have a big day in the air. I am betting Joe Burrows over 1.5 touchdowns. Joe's going to have a big game in the air. I am betting the Bengals and the Raiders over the total. Joe is going to have a big game in the air. But I also think so will Derek Carr. Waller came back last week. We actually saw them stretch the field. So Burrows over in yards, Burrows over in touchdowns, Bengals over. I like Kansas City minus 12.5 as well. And for tonight, the Minnesota Wild. I'm on a 20-9 run in these plays. Let's kill it. Guys, have an incredible, incredible weekend. No more until for the next 10 days of these videos. I'm going to Punta Cana. Be well. Kick ass. Teddy, fried chicken sandwich. Take us home, brother.
Sure, that's going to wrap it for the week here at Wager Talk Today. We'll do it again next week, starting 9 a.m. Monday here on the left coast, noon for you back east. To do myself and Steve Merrill all next week while Prez goes gallivanting around the country. Enjoy the games. Good luck all weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Here at Wager Talk, we would never say it was silly to buy a single play $25 package or buy a single play $35 package, but we are darn close to saying just that. Until Sunday at midnight Eastern, we have discounted every handicapper's 3-day all sports, all access packages to just $49. So why buy one play for $25 when you can get 3 days of all access pass for only $24 more? With the 5% that regularly costs $35, you can get 3 full days for only $14 more. No coupon needed. Just head over to WagerTalk and go to your favorite handicapper's homepage and lock in your 3-day all access pass for only $49.